just had a conversation with my sister and discovered that a lot of the time that I thought that I was recovering from stress and overwhelm, I was not, because I was doing it wrong. I'm sure you have heard about fight or flight, but there's actually a third way that our body responds to a fear impulse or a danger situation, and that is to freeze. And I have actually frozen in dangerous situations before. And afterward, I look at it and I think, what exactly did I think was going to happen by me holding still? I wasn't camouflage. I don't know. But really, this is one of the things that we do. We respond to stress either by running away, or by fighting it, or by freezing and just hoping that it doesn't notice us. So it's the beginning of the school year, and I have been feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I've been feeling a lot overwhelmed. I've just thought I've taken on way more than I can handle, and I just don't know if I can do all of this, and I'm trying to incorporate all of these changes all at once, and it can be really challenging. Now, I've done it enough years to know that this is temporary, and I'm going to work through it and pick up the skills around this, so I'll be okay, but right now, I'm not okay. And so in this moment of being overwhelmed and not capable of handling all these balls I have in the air, I was watching shows and binge watching, too much watching was happening. And I thought that what I was doing was relaxing and really taking a break from all the things that overwhelmed me. But what I just learned was, in fact, I was still in that stressed out fight or flight response, but instead of fighting or flying, I was freezing. And so I just sat and watched things, but instead of relaxing, I was still in this panic mode of freezing. So I could watch shows for a really long time and never feel rejuvenated. But then if I would just spend 15 minutes being very quiet and, slowly breathing or whatever, I felt completely rejuvenated. That is because I finally got out of that fight or flight or freeze response. And so now I'm trying to not respond by just watching a screen in hopes that that will somehow calm me down, because it doesn't work. That does not calm me down. I don't know if this relates to you. This might just be for me. But if you are feeling like I am so worn out and I just need to zone out, I get that, I understand that, but if you feel like you need to rejuvenate, you got to do something other than freezing and staring at a screen. So I want to tell you just a couple of things that you can do that work to help bring everything calm and get you to a place where you can actually press forward instead. The slow breathing, I feel like everybody says that. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths. And in fact, we use that a lot when my kids are experiencing a lot of frustration. I will say, you need to take 3 slow breaths, and then we can talk about this. And I underestimate how powerful this is. But when I take the time to actually slow down and take 3 very slow, very calm breaths, it's like I'm dealing with an entirely different set of problems at the end of those breaths. It really changes my entire paradigm, my entire coping ability. It's so easy. It's just breathing. And yet I don't do it. A lot of times I will be like, I just don't have time for those 3 breaths. That's silly. Take the time, take 3 slow breaths, and if it's really bad, maybe you have to take 5, maybe you have to take 10, but just that slowing it down and breathing makes an enormous difference in my ability to recognize what the real situation is, because a lot of times I'm all hyped up in my head and I can't deal with what's going on in front of me. But if I'll take the time to slow down and breathe, then I can recognize it isn't that big of a deal, and I can solve the parts that actually are a big deal. The other thing that I find is really helpful is just walking. And again, these are not big, they're probably not news to you, you probably know this already, but I find that I don't do them. I know it in my head, but I won't do it. And if I will get outside and go for a walk, and it does not have to be very long, it changes everything. Again, I feel like, generally I'm leaving the space that was stressful for me, so that helps, but it is so calming, and I know that there are hormones being released into my system that are changing my paradigm and making everything better. It's so simple. Go for a walk, go for a 10 or 15 minute walk, and it changes everything. And this last one may only apply to introverts. I really don't know. If you're an extrovert, let me know if this actually works for you. Maybe you have to go talk to people if you're an extrovert. I don't know. But for an introvert, just having absolute silent time is really, really restful. Just being absolutely alone in my room or in some place that's absolutely quiet, and I can just do nothing other than listen to the silence. It doesn't take very long before I feel my heart rate is slowed, I'm better, I'm able to deal with things again. Now I know if you have little kids, like finding 15 minutes where you can sit alone and hope that the house doesn't burn down, it's not calming to think, what are they doing while they're being quiet? But maybe while they're taking naps, just have some time when you're not trying to accomplish anything, you're just sitting there and being calm and listening to cars drive by or the birds outside or whatever. Just listen and calm down, and that really helps reset things in a way that watching Netflix never does. So if you're really having a hard time dealing with overwhelm or stress, you may actually be freezing and thinking that it's calming you down. Try some of these steps instead. I think you will find they're much more effective. I know they're much more effective for me. I hope they help you. All of this calming down and keeping things in a better headspace is important because you need the energy and the focus to be able to do things that matter on an epic scale. The things that you do as a mom, the things you do as a wife, the things you do as just a human being, they make such a difference in this world. You are impacting people in a major way. You're so important in everything you do. And so finding that calm place where you can give from a very happy place is really important. You're doing a much better job than you think you are. Keep it up, take the time to relax, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks, bye.